most human beings are very lonely people. They may cover themselves up with lots of noise and all the rest of it, but deep down they're very, very lonely people. The ending of sorrow is freedom. Human beings, whether they live in the East or in the West, have the same problems. They're anxious, they're uncertain, confused, unhappy, lonely, depressed, full of sorrow. It is not only the affluent society that's moving towards the East, but also people who haven't found anything here, deeper intentions, deeper insight. So they wander off to the East, either for romantic reasons, or somebody promises them heaven or enlightenment. Their parents have been through Christianity, all that. So they reject all that and hope to find something different, more exciting, more palatable, but it's the same pattern repeated there as here. The very word loneliness is rather frightening to people. So, when one finds oneself very lonely, the instinctual response is to run away, to escape from this feeling. But if you don't escape, don't suppress, but watch it. Be with that feeling that you are very lonely. Then you begin to examine it. Examine it not analytically, but as you observe the vase, you just look at it. As you observe a flower, you look at it, you smell it. You don't analyze and tear it to pieces. Then it's no longer a flower. But whereas, if you observe this sense of loneliness, you'll find that is the result of one's daily activity. Because each person is acting according to his belief, to his tradition, to his culture, to his fears and so on. He's isolating himself all the time. Life is relationship. All existence is relationship. You can't exist by yourself. But relationship is a very complex affair. One may be married or not married, and the relationship between the two is based on what? Not only physical need, but psychological needs. So, if I need something, I'm exploiting psychologically the other person. Is there an actual relationship, except physical, between two people, however intimate they are? Is it not? Each person has his own image of himself, his own picture of himself, and that image, that picture, those ideas are trying to express themselves, and so each person is doing that. So, relationship becomes a series of conflicts as long as there is an image of oneself or the image created about the other. If we are to communicate, we must both of us listen very carefully. If I want to learn something, if I want to hear something, I must give my attention to it. Which means I mustn't interpret what you're saying. I mustn't oppose what you're saying or agree with what you're saying. I must have the I must be capable of listening in spite of my opinions, all the rest of it. That requires considerable attention. And people are not willing to do all this. It's very difficult for young people to be serious. We have several schools both in India and all the rest of it, different parts of the world. And to really find out how to help young people, really students, to live a different kind of life. It's very difficult to help them to understand the serious nature of the world and of themselves. That one has, and we go into that often, discussions, dialogues, all that goes on. I think what's important is considering the state of the world, not only present period, but in the past also. Man is in such a terrible confusion and anxiety and uncertainty. I think there is an answer to all this. And the answer is not intellectual or merely verbal, but something that deeply touches man. Human beings throughout the world, it doesn't matter where they live, go through all kinds of anxieties, uncertainties, miseries, suffering and so on. And that human being has been living like this for millennia, thousands and thousands of years. And apparently, man has not been able to solve his deep anxieties and suffering. And religions throughout the world have tried to avoid the issue. They talk about it. They have various theological concepts and ideas and saviors and gurus, and right through the world they take different forms and different names. I think they are really rather misleading. Because man, a human being, has to find the answer not outside, not through an outside agency, but in himself. The human mind has evolved, as one knows, through centuries upon centuries. Unless that mind radically transforms itself, there is no way out for man.
How would you truly like to be remembered by future generations?
I don't think it matters very much. What matters is, as I pointed out, if what one is saying has truth in it or falsehood. If what one is saying is actual or nonsensical. And whether one can live understanding oneself and all that we talked about, that matters. Not whether you are remembered, whether you are great man, little man, or all that's nonsense. At least to me.